What you're going to see here simply is our sales dialer sales engine that's going to give you the ability to contact more people in a shorter amount of time via the phone and email marketing. Instead of hand dialing 25 to 35 numbers an hour, you're dialing hundreds of people per hour, where the dialer automatically filters out disconnected numbers, busy signals, and not reachables, and you're only talking to live people. Now, the dialer is much more than just a dialer, though, because we have built-in FTC, FCC safeguards. We have emailing. We have call recording. We have a CRM built into the dialer where you can manage, track, and nurture leads from cradle to grave. Now, our dialer is a power dialer. It is not a predictive dialer. There is a difference. Typically, with predictive dialers, you're going to see a lag time. Not all of them. With a power dialer, you're not going to have any lag time. Also, just to note is we actually own our dialer, which means we can do what we want with it when we want. Some people just white label or resell somebody else's dialer, which is fine, but typically, I mean, we own our own dialer. We have in-house support. You're not going to have any wait times on support. We've got video support, live chat support, phone support, a lot of options there for you. So there's some advantages to owning your own dialer. Now, there are several ways to make phone calls with the system. You can call through your landline phone, your home phone, your office phone, your cell phone. You can even plug a headset into your computer and talk through your computer using what's called a soft phone. Now, keep in mind, though, with the cell phone, you don't get anything for free, so you need to have an unlimited minute plan to do that. So if you follow the mouse, you'll be able to see where we're located, and we're going to go ahead and get started. So up here in the top right-hand corner, if you ever need support, you can click here and chat with support. We have information about your account, video help, frequently asked questions, and of course, how do you get started. On our public website, SalesDialers.com, we have videos, a help desk, tutorials, a lot of information there. Then, of course, down at the very bottom, we have our toll-free number you can call for live phone support. We're pretty responsive with the support, unless we get on some phone calls that are just really long. So, what you're looking at here is the home screen of the dialer, which is going to show your calendar. And all of these highlighted dates represent appointments and call reminders where you can click on a particular day, and that day's appointments will show up. If you hover over the phone number, it'll turn blue, and that means you can click and call that number right then and there. And you'll see this blue click-to-call telephone number throughout the dialer, that feature. Up at the top, you can create appointments on the fly by clicking right here. Just enter in all your information, type in any notes, hit done. It will dump this into your calendar. You can view appointments over any given date range. You can also email those appointments. If you have somebody making your phone calls for you, they've got the ability to email you your appointments and leads. And you can actually synchronize the calendar with your Outlook or Gmail calendar. Now, what we're going to do over here on the left-hand side of the screen is work our way from top to bottom through all these different modules. We're going to start with calling campaigns, view campaigns. This is where you manage and edit all of your campaigns. So here, you can press this button to start calling a campaign, resume calling, stop calling. You can delete, you can edit a campaign. But what I want to do right now is show you how easy it is to create a campaign. And you can do that by clicking here. You'll enter the name of your campaign. You can type a description. And then you're going to upload your names via an Excel spreadsheet file format known as a CSV file. This is a comma delimited file, a comma separated file, a CSV file. They're all the same thing. It's simply an Excel file that you're saving as a CSV file. In our system, you also have the ability to use pre-recorded on-hold and answering machine recording messages. I actually have my own on-hold recordings in my own voice. Excuse me. And we load each dialer with generic male and female on-hold recordings. The recordings that we have work very well, regardless of whichever industry you practice. The purpose of the on-hold recording is if you're talking to somebody live on line 1, and somebody on lines 2, 3, or 4 pick up the phone, then lines 2, 3, or 4 are going to hear that on-hold recording. So the sole purpose of that recording being to just stall that person for a few moments until you finish with your live call and can go speak with them. So the on-hold recordings you have do a very good job of doing that. You can also drop, at the click of a button, a pre-recorded message into somebody's voicemail. This is great because essentially this gives you the ability to continuously talk to live people, which is what we all want because sales is a numbers game. The more people you talk to, the more leads, the more sales. We've got a couple features with our system, one of which is auto pause. This is a feature we've designed specifically for our new customers. It's going to help slow down the dialer so you can get acclimated to it easier. Enable recording. You can record the phone conversations that you're having with people for training or monitoring purposes. Time zone protection. If you attempt to make a phone call outside of the FTC regulated calling hours, the system will simply stop that call from going through. So there's no reason not to have this box checked. If you're using Microsoft Outlook and you would like your appointment to receive an email reminder with their appointment date and time, click this box. It'll send them that reminder through Outlook. Caller ID, you can change to any caller ID you'd like to show up on their phone. Number of lines, you can call at 1, 2, 3, or 4 lines at a time. Phone ring time, I suggest 5 or 6 rings. However, if you're deliberately trying to avoid the answering machines of the voicemails, I'd set that to 4 rings. And if you are a realtor and you would like one-click access to that prospect's property information, we can give that to you through Zillow or Trulia. And if you'd like to email those people while you're talking on the phone with them live, we're going to give you 3 options. You can choose a single email template where every time you hit the send mail button, that person will receive that specific template. Or you can do allow me to choose while sending. That's going to give you the ability to choose up to 3 different email templates. You can choose live on the fly, which one you want that person to receive. Or you can do automatic follow-up emails, which initiates a drip email campaign that goes out automatically over time. The last thing that you're going to do to create your campaign is you're going to map your data. Over here in the right-hand column is the information you uploaded from your Excel CSV file. In the left-hand column is what's going to show up when you actually talk to somebody. And all you have to do is click, drag, and drop from the right to the left-hand side. Whatever it is you'd like that person to see while you're talking to them, or what you'd like to see if you're making the phone calls. If you don't need it, don't drag it over. There's no reason to complicate things. But if you have custom fields that we do not, come down here to the bottom left-hand corner. And you can create custom fields based on your list and personalize this to your business. Then, of course, you'll hit Finish, and that campaign will be created. So what we're going to do now is we're going to make some live phone calls. When I make live phone calls, essentially I am just playing dumb, asking for fictitious names and places, trying to get on and off the phone quickly so you can see how the dialer works. This is a 3-line calling campaign, thus you can see the 3 different boxes where you're going to see a status of the call, a name, and a phone number. You're also going to see our FTC compliance meter that monitors the FTC abandonment rate, which is 3%. Now what we've done is we've converted this 3% to a number that's more easily measurable, which is 100%. So if you see this number climbing up higher and higher, 70, 80, 90%, that means you need to slow down your calling campaign from 4 lines per hour to 3 lines, or 3 lines per hour to 2 lines. Most people are dialing at 2 or 3 lines at a time. A small percentage are dialing at 4. I don't know that I've seen anybody that can handle the call volume with 5 lines at a time, let alone 4. 2 and 3 lines is slow and steady, or not slow, but steady, and that'll keep you plenty busy. So let's make some live phone calls. I'll talk to you while I'm talking to them. I've got my phone on speaker. Hopefully it'll be clear enough. Let's see who picks up the phone. Line 3 is busy.
Good afternoon, Hamner Real Estate. This is Andrea.
Oh yeah, hi Andrea. I think that I have dialed the wrong business. I am so sorry to bother you.
Okay.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.
You too.
Calling 2. See if they pick up again. No answer on 2. Redialing 3. See if they pick up.
Realty South, this is Mary. May I help you?
Oh yeah, hi Mary. This is Corey. Could I please speak with Tommy Staten, please?
Let's see here. What's the last name again? I'm sorry.
Staten, S-T-A-T-O. It's Staten, S-T-A-T-O-N.
I'm sorry, we have no one in the office by that name.
Oh, goodness. How did I dial the wrong number? I can read and write, I assure you. I guess maybe I was, coincidentally, I'm actually calling a realtor in your real estate office, but tell you what, let me go back and check the email he sent me. I'm so sorry to bother you.
Quite all right. Bye-bye.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye-bye. All right, so now the campaign is going to pause dialing. I want to point out a couple of important things here, okay? One, notice that every single time you heard good afternoon, there was no lag time, there was no hesitation. That's because this is a power dialer. Most predictive dialers are not optimized to eliminate that lag time. And then, I mean, you know how many lines you're calling here. This is a 3-line calling campaign, which is good for me. Let me tell you what's going on here. Follow the mouse, and let me explain to you how the dialer works. If I'm talking to Mary Ann on 1, and Manica and Carl pick up on 2 and 3, Manica and Carl are going to hear the on-hold message. If I finish with Mary Ann while Manica and Carl are on the phone, I'll be transferred into the middle of that on-hold call, and I'll just start talking. On the other side of the coin, if I'm on the phone with Mary Ann for a really long time, and Manica and Carl hang up the phone, the dialer is going to pause dialing. It's just not going to keep on dialing numbers if it senses that I'm on the phone. Now what it will do is eventually when I get off the phone with Mary Ann, it will redial Manica and Carl before it dials any new phone numbers because it doesn't want you to have any missed opportunities. So the dialer is intuitive in how it handles those calls. Every time somebody picks up the phone, a customer window is going to open up where you can click and edit that information on the fly. You can edit their name. You can type in notes. You can disposition that call with one of our disposition buttons that you see here, which you can also customize. And then notice there's that Zillow button where you can access property information. Now the buttons that we have are call back, meaning maybe you don't want to leave a voicemail, you just want to hang up and call back later. Got lead, meaning they are a hot, warm, or cold lead. Do not call, meaning they're not interested. They'll be removed from the calling campaign. Send mail, meaning email. You'll type in their email address and hit send, and they'll receive that email template. You can schedule a phone call or an appointment using the calendar feature where you can select a specific day. You can select a specific time and a location. You can drop that into your calendar. You can also hit the Got Sale button and plug in a value for that particular sale. Let's go to the next module, which is View Contacts and View Leads. This is where you manage and edit your contacts and your leads. These two modules look the same, except one's for contacts and one's for leads. So I'm just going to go into View Leads and show you around a little bit. Here you can search using a specific campaign, a previous day and time that campaign was called in the past, a specific status. I can pull up just my hot leads, my callbacks. I can call back my sold policies. So you can essentially create custom calling campaigns on the fly. You can also search by a variety of other options that we have here. I'm going to pull up my hot leads. So you can see down below I have all of my hot leads. Up in the top right hand corner, I can click this button and print a detailed printout of these leads. I can print a basic printout. I can export this information back out of the dialer the same way you brought it into the dialer via a CSV file. Let me tell you why this is important, okay? There are some CRMs that don't let you export your data. Okay, it's your data. You should be able to get it anytime you want. But also you need to export this to maybe your CRM. Or maybe you're importing and exporting via lead vendors. Or maybe you want to send it to Outlook. When I sold insurance, I used Outlook as my CRM. So it's very important to have this feature because essentially this gives you mobility between the dialer and your lead vendor, your list vendor, Outlook, Act, if you're using Microsoft Act. So you've got the ability to export anytime you want. You can also add leads on the fly by clicking this button right here. Now down below, we have all of our hot leads where I can click this button to edit a lead. I can delete it. I can scroll down through the activity log and see the history of contact or any notes that I've typed. I can click the Details tab for more information. I can click and call these leads one at a time using the blue Click to Call dialer feature if I want to give them additional attention, or if I'm just trying to fire through these leads pretty quickly, fairly quickly, as my dad would say, quickly can't be pretty, so fairly quickly, then I'll click the start button and I'll auto dial these leads. And also, you can email the leads as well if you have somebody making your phone calls for you. Let's go to the next module, which is reports, calling reports. Earlier, I mentioned you had the ability to record phone conversations. This is where you'll find them. Use the appropriate drop-down menus. Okay, multiple search options. You can find those recordings. You can play them, you can download them. Some companies are using audio applications. So here, you have the ability to download that recording. Or again, also for training purposes, to hone your phone skills or hone your staff's phone skills. Next module, campaign statistics. This is a report that I run several times throughout the day. You can run this report for a specific campaign, a previous day and time that campaign was called in the past. You could run this over a given date range. You can run this report in real time remotely anytime you want. You can use it for timesheets, performance evaluations. If you have multiple dialer accounts, you could run it across multiple dialer accounts or individual accounts to track progress and performance. For example, you can see this person spent 1 hour and 32 minutes on the phone talking. During that time, they sent 545 emails. They generated 24 leads. They called 152 people. If you were to hand dial 152 people, it would take about 5 hours, give or take a little bit. We did it in 1 hour and 32 minutes. The efficiencies of a dialer alone are worth their weight in gold. But if you get all the other features, the CRM, the safeguards, the emailing, the call recording, that's just icing on the cake. These next two are settings tabs. I'm going to go to the next module, which is email campaigns, email blasts. Very easy to send an email blast in our system. All you have to do is click New Email Blast. Select the email template you would like everybody to receive. Select the campaign that you would like to pull those email addresses from. Because remember, campaigns have all of our contact information. And you can choose to send this to your hot leads or your callbacks. Or you can just send it to everybody and hit start and let that email blast go out. The important thing about the dialer is you can do what I used to do when I sold insurance. You can load your existing customers into the dialer and you can call and email them efficiently. You can wish them happy holidays. You can tell them about new products. You can ask for referrals. Not enough agents work their existing book of business, so here you can do so efficiently. Build an existing book of business as well as a new book of business. Next module, drip email. Drip email is a series of emails that you send out over time. It's a schedule. So essentially we are going to create a schedule of emails and we're going to attach that schedule to a calling campaign where every time you hit the send mail button, that person is going to receive this email template. And then automatically after 4 days, they're going to receive this email template. And then after 9 days, a different template. And you'll just keep going on, and you can send 8 emails over the course of 30 days. The benefit here is simple. You're getting constant visibility with your prospects without having to lift a finger. This is a feature we get a lot of good feedback on. I'm going to go to the next module, which is lead vendors, real-time leads. We have partnered with several real-time internet lead companies where we can arrange to have your leads loaded into your dialer automatically in real time for you. This is going to give you the ability to contact these leads quicker and track them from cradle to grave. If you don't see your lead vendor here, let us know. We can certainly bring them on board. We've got vendors from several different industries. And what will happen is you will receive a real-time audio and visual notification up here in the top right-hand corner under real-time leads, and you'll see the appropriate leads. And once you click on that batch of leads, you'll have the appropriate click-to-call features. Okay? Again, keep in mind, if you don't see your lead vendor here, we can certainly reach out to them and bring them on board. We don't charge for that service. The next are settings tabs. I'm going to go to the next module, which is preferences. Email SMTP. This is where you set up your outbound email server settings because we are sending emails through our dialer using your email account. Okay, so it looks like it's coming through you, obviously, from you. Very easy to do that, similar to setting up an Outlook accounts, if you've ever set those in Microsoft Outlook, we can walk you through it. Doesn't take long at all. Email templates. This is where you manage and edit all of your email templates that you attach to campaigns. So here, you can press this button to delete, edit, and preview those templates. You can create a template very easily. It's just like creating an email. Most of us have done that. Here, you can type in a name, a subject. You can use an attachment up to 1 megabyte. You can personalize that email with that person's specific name. You can format it with a number of different options. You can use images. You can use hyperlinks. You can literally copy and paste pictures, words, and graphics into the body. You can create some really nice email templates. Then, of course, you'll hit submit, and that email template will be saved. Next module, voice recordings. This is where you manage and edit all of your on-hold and answering machine recording messages. So here, you can press this button to play, delete, edit, and download those recordings. Very easy to record these. We'll show you how. You'll do so via a WAV file format, WAV. Definitely worth creating your own recordings in your own voice or whomever is making your phone calls for you. Next module, date and time. This is where you set your date and time zone preferences. I'm certain everybody has done this in one program or another. And the last thing I want to show you is up here in the top right-hand corner under alerts and reminders. This is the hub for your appointment reminders, your call reminders, and your email notifications. So you will receive a real-time audio and visual notification for any of those events where you can see, for example, this person just opened up my email. I can come over here, I can click this blue click to call telephone number, and I can call David right then and there. Let me tell you why this is important. Your prospects, they have full-time jobs. They're full-time parents. They have hobbies, errands, friends, things they're doing. They're not sitting around waiting on your phone call. This plain and simply gives you the ability to strike while the iron's hot. This is a feature we get a lot of good feedback on. Now, that concludes the demo portion of the webinar. I do want to wrap up with a few comments, and certainly I'll answer any questions that you might have. Keep in mind our dialer is also Macintosh compatible for any of you Apple fans out there. I just converted to a Mac about 3 months ago. I love it. Some dialers do not work on Mac platforms. Okay, you have to run Parallels, and Mac users don't like running Parallels software. It creates more problems. So we're Macintosh compatible. And, you know, let's talk about marketing in general, okay? Because as a former agent, I've done most of the marketing methods that y'all might be doing. I've done real-time leads, aged leads, other leads. I've done social media, referral systems. I've knocked on doors. I've done direct mail. Direct mail is expensive. Using a dialer is the least expensive way to generate new business. It's more personal because you're actually talking to people. It's more flexible because you can change your scripts, your emails, your recordings. You can change all this on the fly. And it doesn't cost you anything to change it either. It's more responsive because you're generating leads, appointments, and sales right then and there, rather than waiting a week or two for those other methods to come back around to you. And oftentimes you're actually generating exclusive leads that aren't shared with other agents. And let's face it, less competition is better. Speaking of competition, I'm going to go to our website. I'm going to go to the pricing tab in the top right-hand corner. We have 3 different dialers. We have our light single-line dialer. We have our plus 3-line dialer. We have our max 4-line dialer. You can pay for these services on an hourly or a monthly basis. It's not both, it's one or the other, okay? And you can call and talk to us about your particular circumstances, and we can try to find the dialer that works best for you, for your sales process and your calling environment. The pricing you see here includes everything. Some dialers will nickel and dime you over features. They add taxes, there's surprises, or there's a contract. We are month-to-month, no contract. What you see here is what you'll pay, okay? The way that I like to sum up us compared to other dialers is, and there's a lot of good dialers out there, and there's plenty of business out there for everybody, but I like to say we have more features, we're less expensive, and we're easier to use, with emphasis on the easier to use, because let's face it, you can have the best features and everything you want in a dialer crafted to exactly the way you want. But if it's hard to use, that doesn't do you any good. So simple is never a bad thing. We get compliments on that quite frequently. Now, I'm going to type some information in the chat box at the bottom of your screen. And I see we had some people coming in late through the webinar, 5 minutes into it, 10, 15 minutes into it. Feel free to call me, okay? We can talk about what you have going on there, and you can certainly bounce some ideas off of me. If you want to reach out to me personally, I can be reached at Corey@SalesDialers.com. At the bottom of your screen, I just typed that in there. You can call me at 1-800-662-4009, extension 5. Or you can call any of our associates. Call the toll-free number, hit extension 1. Any of our associates will be more than happy to help you. And on that note, that concludes the webinar. We're pretty much right at the 25-minute mark. We started at 2:05. So if you have any questions, now's the time to ask them. I'm an open book. I'll talk to you all day long. If you don't have any questions, that's fine. Maybe you just need to let it digest and marinate a little bit. Or maybe I did such a fantastic job on the webinar, you have no questions, or maybe I put you all to sleep. Maybe a little bit of both. Hopefully I didn't put you to sleep. If you have a question an hour, a day, a week from now, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We can talk about what you have going on, what you've tried, what you haven't tried. We can talk to you about best practices with the dialer, scripts, things like that. We try not to be just a dialer solution. We try to be a turnkey solution. And I'm not seeing any questions pop up. So I guess y'all are going to take it easy on me today. I'm going to ask one more time, then we'll wrap things up. Any questions, comments, queries about the dialer, anything at all? All right, fair enough. All right, so listen, we do try to get you out of here pretty quick. We try to keep the webinar short and meaty.